Welcome to Satisfactory City recap of stream day 34. 34 days of streaming in this base. This is quite a lot, and it shows in the base. Sometimes I just get a bit flustered about how big it is and what's happening and how much is actually sprawls. So we are going to start in supercomputer out, because let's start. The focus of the day was to make, oh, there we go, radio, no. Okay, I had too many clicks. Radio control units. The radio control units are using the alternate recipe heat sinks. That's what we built in the previous stream. The one before. The previous stream we did a lot of training, which is also what we did a lot here. And then supercomputers and quartz. So we brought the quartz in last time. The heat sinks was close by. So the first thing we were looking at was just how are we going to get the supercomputers into the tower. So we look at this is location of the supercomputer. And this is the location of the radio control units. And I was like, you know what? Isn't it possible to go up here and around and just draw a nice monorail through the city? And as soon as that idea was formulated, well, there's just no other way to do it than that. So I'm just gonna see if I can get it to drive itself. And it's easier said than done, not because of anything else, but mainly because of I have to be jumping on top of it, so you have to be a bit fast in getting up. Alright, so we're going to enjoy the ride here. So this is the monorail through the city, and it also shows the format of what I intend to do quite a lot more in this base. These monorails through the city look absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. But here we are, just the monorail through the city. You can see the support columns everywhere. Like every 10 spaces we have a nice support column going in here. And you can see all of these belts snaking here and there. Okay, unfortunately we're already starting to break. That's a bit odd, but I mean, it's necessary because there's a big hill in front of us. Let's see, and we drive down the hill, and we actually have just enough space to brake. We are braking. We are air braking at least. Yep, slowing down, nice and quiet. So this is where it brings supercomputers in. So kind of something to keep in mind is that now we have a crazy amount of supercomputers. This wagon will be filled up. That location will be filled up. And they will go out here. Look at that. Like just watching a train in the distance is just amazing. We're going to jump out. So we have supercomputers coming in here. Let's actually just see how much we have at this location. Just out of interest. Yeah, it's not quite full, but it kind of almost is. Let's set this train to go back and forth so it is working again. We're not going to use this more. Radio controlled and supercomputer out. Boom. And we're going to go up. So this is the lowest floor. Let's say floor number 1. This, we are going to follow the supercomputers upwards. They are going to go in here to this one, which will be the final assembly of the products. We got this one here, radio control units. It's stuck because, yeah, we have a full inventory, full over here. So we built the radio control units. There, very, very simple. Well, quite a lot. And the other items to get in was the crystal. We are going to look at that. But also the other one was the heat sinks. That's easy to see because that's pretty simple. Heat sinks coming out there, going down there. And then up in here. Let's go up one floor. So basically floor number 1 is the train inbound with supercomputers. Floor number 2 is the final assembly of radio control units. Floor number 3 is, and this is where the whole point of this is what we built in the previous stream. Not the one I'm summarizing, but the one before. We have our train inbound, radio control units, quartz inbound. And up, up, up. And then this one goes, you can see the quartz going up, and next to it we have the quartz crystals coming down. But we did more than this, because this one, despite the fact that we built this, look at this one, this monorail looks absolutely phenomenal. We're going to make more of those for sure. I love those. So here we have the quartz crystal processing, quite a lot actually. Also way too much compared to what we need, but I like that. So it's only 15 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 15. No one knows what that is. That's 120. So 240 quartz crystals being produced here. That's more than we need. Downstairs, I think we need even... It's not quite enough if we are running it at double speed. Which we are. So that's one thing. The other thing is all the way over there. We have a brand new tower that we also did. Because now... At this point, we are looking at radio control units, and that was the last thing we needed before turbo motors. And turbo motors have an alternate recipe that we discovered. That was the final alternate recipe of the game, and we are now looking at. All right, so what do we need? That means we need a lot more motors suddenly, and we need status delivered. The thing is that we have our motor tower. That's the turquoise one. Yeah, that one. That one is just using very, very small quantities of motors because at the time we just built small and move on. However, that will not suffice, and also at that point we create status on site. I should not create status on site. It should have had their own. So people are saying like, oh, can't you just make status and motors? And no, we have to get a dedicated facility for each one of our products. So that's what we're going to do. We are actually going to take the tower, the turquoise tower here, over there with motors. Is going to make exclusively. What the hell am I doing? I'm going to kill myself for this. Whew, close. And I think it can be done. No, not quite. Okay, we'll do it this way. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll make a new stator tower, and the new stator tower has to take some new items inbound. That's why we're flying. I can't really talk and fly, so just let me talk first, and then we'll go. Okay, so the motor tower will need to get status in. So we start looking at where we could get status, and the status needed copper plus, let's look at the stator recipes. We have two options. We have the default with wire, or the improved one with quick wire. However, quick wire is Caterium, and Caterium is not something we have in abundance around here. So I'm actually opting for the basic one because we can easily just spam this one like crazy. Because we have tons of wire. This can be done from iron wire. So we have iron deposits over here. We also have copper, but we have iron deposits over here. And we also have... So now the question becomes, well, how are we going to get the where is it, from this location into the motors? Well, that became a train as well, and you can see it in the horizon. So we're going to take a look at that as well. The tower is not completely built because I ran out of time, despite the fact that I streamed an hour longer than I usually do. I did run out of time, and dexterity, I also think I ran out of that. So we have a new beautiful tower over here. It's not hooked up at all, but we have the basics of it. Let's jump to the roof of it so we can walk downwards and figure out what, or show what's going on here. Right, so what's going on is nothing here is hooked up. Each of these are producing, as you can see, nothing yet. Default, the normal status, needing a lot of steel pipes. That's another thing we need to figure out, how to get steel pipes in. And the iron is going to be right outside. We can see that on the next floor. And that's going to make 72 status per minute. Certainly going to be enough both for motors and for supercomputers. So here we have the next part. This is where we ran out of materials and time and all that stuff. We are going to get inbound here. From there. Right? Oh yeah, it's not hooked up. That's why it's not hooked up. Coming in. Getting processed into iron ingots, going down this lane here. It's going down the middle lane all the way down. And the reason why it's only 6 and not the full 8 is because if I made it the full 8, then it would be more than 8. It's because they're making iron wire, and iron wire is being produced quite fast. Give me my mouse back. There. So if I take 6 of these, that's 90 inbound, then that becomes, I don't know, 1000 or something. It's too much. So this one will be be just around the full Mark 5 belt. And that full Mark 5 belt will be brought up to the location we saw before. And then we can go further down, and the other part, once the final product is done, it will be brought down here to this location where I have a I guess only a train. Why not the rest of it? Probably again ran out of stuff. Why is this one not really willing to hook up? Okay. What the hell? Oh, it was a kind of a smash train, I guess. That was a bit mushed. Everything was in one location. That's interesting. Bug. I did wonder why I didn't have a complete train. Just build it again. Boom. Not a problem. This train. Let's first get it to stator out, and then get it to motor stator in. And then let's enjoy this ride. Of course, nothing is ready here, but you know, the framework is set up, the tower is ready, so when we come back next time, we can actually start piecing the parts together, getting the iron in, making the wire. It's a friendly way to get the steel pipes in, and this is where it starts to feel like steel pipes, maybe that should come in by train, I don't know. But look at this one. We're on the back side of this up. Oh, by the way, I need to run down here. I'm gonna beat. Smash. Yeah, okay, that's kind of risky. I need to stand here. Good thing there wasn't any freight on it. And let's just jump up. It's a bit dangerous, this part. Okay, and it gets brought into the motor tower, which will now be a different way of doing it, because now it will have 2 floors. We will get the Caterium in somewhere. The Caterium will be processed here, and then at the top floor we'll make motors exclusively, which will then be brought out. I don't know exactly how they're going to be brought out, probably just on this belt. But the kind of the issue we have in terms of just converting everything to rails is simply the fact that we just don't have enough floor space, and getting more floors on these takes an awful lot of time. So that's not really something that happens. Right, so that was basically the conclusion of what we did here. That's this time we completed the radio control units. Oh, radio control units is hiding somewhere under these, all of these. Where are they? Radio control units. I can't remember how many we make. 15, I think. Yeah, 15 radio control units maybe. And we built this tower as well for the status, and my poor face again. I love this one, just going out here over the abyss, the bottomless pit, and we are then going back into our newest, beautifulest tower. And at this point, we're gonna finish this one. We're gonna finish the motor tower. Then after that, it's about doing the turbo motor tower. And once we have the turbo motor tower, well, we got everything we need. You could argue that we would need something like beacons or gas mask filters, but I don't think that really justifies a complete building. And then we get to the point where what else are we going to do, because that's yeah, we're kind of running out of new things to do because we've done everything, which is a great achievement. I think that we have a base that does a full tower of everything. What I'm thinking of then is actually going back to, can I get that all the way? No, probably not. I probably could, but I don't feel confident about it. This level out here I'm going to use. And I'm going to use it for somehow something related to a giant train yard. I don't know exactly how. I don't have the ideas, but if you have some great ideas that sort of fit in terms of what would be interesting to build, interesting to watch, and then by all means, this could be a good location to build like a giant train yard that does something. But what is, it's kind of beyond me. We'll figure it out. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you very much for joining. Be sure to check out the Twitch streams when I'm streaming. That is a lot more entertaining for both you and me to have that direct interaction. If you want to watch the VODs, they are still available. They're available through the link in the description below. So do not fear, they're still around. And that's gonna be it. If you like it, hit that like button. And also, if you want to help me out, then hit the subscribe on my secondary channel, the VOD channel, because it's kind of hard to get the subs up and running there, and I think I need it just to get the monetization and all that fun stuff rolling. So with that, thank you very much for joining, and as always, stay effective.